having a conversation with someone in the U.S. the other day, and we were talking about the costs of drugs and the comparison between the U.S. and Canada. And this person said, well, yes, that Canada can afford to sell the drugs less expensively because the U.S. is subsidizing them in effect by doing all of the research and development. Your comments about that, please? How would you explain that?
Let me answer it in two parts. First of all, I would freely concede that private, for-profit pharmaceutical companies need to make a profit. They can't operate otherwise.
Right.
And they should. There's no doubt that the research they do is extraordinarily expensive. And the number of times that they are successful in finding a drug that is a cure, especially if you believe in comparative effectiveness research, as I do, which would rule out many of them coming to market, even if they work, because there are already a whole lot that are there that work better. There are ways to deal with their need for profit. I won't go into the technical aspects of it, but there are several countries in the world that already make sure that in the pricing of pharmaceuticals, they are allowing enough return so that it is in fact profitable. It has to do, among other things, with the number of years you can retain a patent before anybody else can begin to produce a generic version of your drug. And because they make more money in the out years, because in the early years they're recovering their investment, and their profit tends to come in year 9, 10, or 11, you extend it by another year or two, and the amount of increased profit they make is phenomenal. So just push it out another year or two. But you're paying less in the interim. Now, the U.S. already has regulated drug prices. You know who does it? Anybody know who does it? The Veterans Administration. The Veterans Administration negotiates with companies and will not pay more than a set amount. And in fact, this is a generalization, but I believe it's generally true, the amount that the Veterans Administration charges, get paid for drugs, is in fact less than the government of Canada in many cases pays for drugs. They've got an even better deal than the government of Canada does. Now, when was the last time Big Pharma said, nah, we're not selling drugs to the Veterans Administration anymore? The next time it happens will be the first time it happens, right? So, what does that tell you? That tells you they're making money even at that negotiated price. Now, there are also some people who say that it's not fair for the public option to exist if it is able to use the natural advantages of a government program. That is, I'm one buyer, I'm not 1,300 buyers, I'm one. So you got to pay attention to me because my volume's a lot bigger than anybody else in the world. And you better give me your absolute best price or I'm not buying, I'll go somebody else because you're not the only guy in the world selling Avapro or whatever you're buying. They're going to get a low price. Now, why in God's name would you want to deprive the federal government of the right to achieve drugs at the lowest possible cost, consistent with the company that made them, making a decent return? I can't think of a single good reason. And I can think of